Please subscribe our channel and hit the icon button.
In a distant kingdom, long ago, a wise and thoughtful king sought to teach his people an important lesson, one that would shape their character and determination. He often pondered over the way his subjects responded to adversity and how they perceived challenges. Many in his kingdom were quick to complain about difficulties, but seldom took action to resolve them. With this in mind, the king devised a plan to test their resolve. One morning, before the first rays of sunlight kissed the land, the king commanded his men to place an enormous rock in the middle of a frequently traveled road. This road connected the bustling market to the royal palace, ensuring that merchants, nobles, and common folk alike would pass through. Once the task was done, the king concealed himself behind a grove of thick, leafy trees, eager to observe how his people would react. As the day unfolded, the road became busy with travelers. First came a group of wealthy merchants draped in luxurious robes, their pouches heavy with gold. They halted before the obstacle, exchanging grumbles and complaints. "This is disgraceful! Does the king not care for the well-being of his people?" one merchant scoffed, wiping the sweat off his brow. "Why should we be inconvenienced like this? The king should have his men clear the roads," another added. Not one of them considered moving the rock. Instead, they walked around it, continuing on their way while cursing the kingdom's poor maintenance. Shortly after, a group of courtiers and noblemen approached, dressed in their finery, their horses adorned with precious metals and silk. They too stopped before the obstruction, whispering amongst themselves. "Surely a task such as this is beneath us," one said, adjusting the feathered hat atop his head. "Indeed," agreed another, "this is the responsibility of the king's servants." And so they maneuvered around the rock, leaving it untouched. Each traveler who passed found fault in the kingdom's governance, but did nothing to remove the impediment. Hours passed, and the sun climbed high into the sky, casting warm golden hues over the land. The road remained blocked. Then a humble peasant, carrying a heavy load of vegetables, approached the obstacle. He was a hard-working man, his clothes simple but well-worn from years of toil. When he reached the massive stone, he paused, wiping his brow. Unlike the others before him, he did not complain. Instead, he set down his bundle and examined the rock. He knew that if he left it there, it would hinder not only him, but many others who would walk this path. With determination, he placed his hands against the rough surface and began to push. The stone was heavy, unyielding at first. Beads of sweat formed on his forehead as he strained against its weight. He adjusted his footing, drawing deep breaths, and pushed with all his might. The minutes felt like hours, but he refused to give up. His muscles ached, his breath came in gasps, but slowly, inch by inch, the rock began to shift. At last, with one final effort, the peasant managed to roll the massive stone off the path, clearing the way. He sighed in relief and wiped the dust from his hands. As he turned to retrieve his bundle of vegetables, something unusual caught his eye. A small, ornate purse lying in the very spot where the rock had been. Curious, he picked it up and untied the delicate strings. To his astonishment, the purse was filled with glittering gold coins. Nestled within them was a small, elegantly folded parchment. With hands still trembling from exertion, he carefully opened the note and read the words inscribed in the king's own hand. "To the one who removes this obstacle, I reward your efforts. This gold is a gift for your willingness to do what others would not." Remember, every challenge in life carries an opportunity within it. Where others see hardship, the wise see a chance to grow. The peasant stood in stunned silence, his heart swelling with gratitude. The realization dawned upon him. The king had placed the rock there not as a hindrance, but as a test. While the rich and powerful had only seen inconvenience, he had embraced the challenge and, in doing so, had been rewarded. With a newfound sense of pride, he picked up his bundle and continued on his journey, his steps lighter than before. As he walked, he couldn't help but think about the lesson he had learned, that true wealth was not merely in gold, but in perseverance, kindness, and the willingness to take action where others hesitated. Word of the peasant's deed quickly spread throughout the kingdom. Many who had once complained about life's struggles began to see obstacles differently. The king's lesson resonated far and wide, reminding everyone that challenges were not mere burdens, but opportunities waiting to be seized. And so the kingdom flourished, not because the roads were always clear, but because the people learned to remove their own obstacles and forge their own paths to success.